Uh-oh, it's showtime. Welcome to KARCENO for life. Donate to the Cash App KARCENO. The super chat works. Oh man, here we go. Here we go. Now, let me speak on this. We see that there's generational people in here who don't seem to get or understand the process in which terms of humiliation and terms of we need to have this done. We knew exactly what we were getting into when we started going down the tropes of dealing with people who don't seem to grasp the actual facts of a situation. And we heard how Eddie Griffin was really, brash and harsh the way he came at your boy Shay Shay. So Uncle Shay, Uncle Shannon, Unc. Since he was Big Unc, that's how it became. It was put on that pedestal. So now when you start to look at the situations, things start to get a little bleak. When they start to get bleak and dark, you start to see that people, in the way they try to bulldoze their name into the topics, is why not talk about it? You're a comedian. You talk about current events and you make jokes and make fun about it. But Shannon didn't look at it as funny. He looked at it as cruel and harsh. He didn't look at it as jokes. Now, this is what Shannon's response to it was.
What they're doing now is that they found out that Shannon is the hot thing. They're using the same joke. It's going to get old and people are going to get tired of y'all saying that Shannon gay and Shannon this, and you're going to have to get back to telling jokes. Now, please tell me you're not running out of jokes. Please tell me you're not going to use Shannon as your punchline.
So what Shannon is trying to say is this is going to get played out pretty soon. So you're going to have to eventually come with something. You're going to have some comedy. You're going to have to be able to say something of interest to bring the public's attention in, because other than that, what are we doing here? You see, this guy right here is he got 2 podcast shows, right? In the top damn 10. 2. You know how hard it is to get one and keep it there? You see, that's what all these flash in the pans podcast shows do. And they find out that it's a harder job than what they first anticipated. Now, the problem that I have with people is that they often confuse people like this as being, because they're a certain way, they soft. As I said it before, Eddie Griffin, no. It's more people in his industry. That's the way he's making fun of Shannon, period. It's like, dog, there's so many comedians that are like that. It don't even make sense. You are surrounded by him. So for you to take the angle you're taking, what you're doing is you're putting yourself on a pedestal of saying, I'm not like that, so I'm better. That's what it sounds like. But it don't matter, because nobody's tuning in to watch Club Shay Shay because they think he's a certain way. Nobody's watching Nightcap because they think Unc is a certain way. Y'all said these things and Unc's still cooking. So it's not going to hurt the show. So Unc has to realize he can't be so reactionary to everything. Even if he is, it makes it look like it's true the way he acts. But who cares? For real, who cares? He ain't trying to sleep with you. Now, if he's trying to do that, then you might have a problem. But until then, I don't think there's a problem. Unless you see Shannon Sharpe at midnight. Yeah, no, I got him. I will hold him down. Yeah, you try to run, but I got you. Now, if you had that kind of problem, then, that's something entirely different.
For the next 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to have to start telling jokes. Please tell me you got jokes.
Yeah.
Outside of Griffin's comments, D.L. Hughley is also on the list of comedians who aren't all that excited about Shannon Sharpe. While running into TMZ, Hughley would express that he has no interest with stopping by the Club Shay Shay podcast. From our perspective, it appears that
DL don't have no interest in stopping by the Club Shay Shay podcast. Why would he? Why would they want you on the pedestal of the podcast for? What interesting you gonna get out of DL? He don't want to sit there and have to answer why he felt relieved his baby died. And he didn't have to tell his wife. Like, oh, good, thank goodness. Whew, I dodged that bullet. That's the kind of mentality, and that's the main reason I don't like DL. That's the main reason right there. That just shows you the type of person he is. It just illuminated more when he said that. He's so narcissistic that when he said it, he thought it was okay. That's a problem. So you already know somebody has very super sensitive because they have a narcissistic personality and a warped sense of where they are in the world and how they view themselves versus to the reality of where they are. Nobody looks at them like that. That's just real spill. Nobody really looks at them as that. And they be, oh man, that's so-and-so. Nobody think like that, especially when it comes to them. Shannon Sharpe is somebody that definitely is a person of interest. Whenever you say Shannon Sharpe's name, it's like a lightning bolt. People don't know how to react. They go crazy. They start flipping, doing all kind of crazy stuff because in their mind, he's a superstar. So, and it's a lightning rod. The same people that claim they like you hate you. Captain Jack, Matt Barnes, they hate you. And the reason why they hate him is because of his success. You see, they don't like for what they call a virtual unknown to this to come in and blow something up. It's always them. They try to they want to take your shine away from everybody. Be like, you got that because of me. We paved the lane. When you hear people talk like that, they want credit for your success. They do. They want credit for your success. Now, if you start to look at the network of what's really happening and what's going on, you're going to start to see the game is not the same as it used to be. And things are moving in a different direction. Podcast shows are going to vary. They're going to go up and down. But I don't really focus too much on the ratings. Other people do because there's so many podcast shows out there. The problem is, and what people don't seem to realize, is the state of the quality of the show. So when you start thinking about narratives and what's changing in the podcast world, right? And you start saying, well, Shannon Sharpe and Eddie Griffin and all these other people, there's so many comedians, all because he did these numbers with Cat Williams. If Shannon Sharpe did not do these numbers with Cat Williams, they would not be talking about Shannon Sharpe. They wouldn't even said anything about his sexuality. They wouldn't have questioned anything because all of these things were there before and nobody said a word. Shannon been hanging out with Hollywood. He replaced Hollywood when all this noise started happening. Now, all the rumors start coming out and people start pointing fingers, and the guy had a short that did $1 million and everybody's making fun and joking, and the guy saying, this is his lover. That drove him insane. So when you take narratives and you keep trying to change them for your own benefit, this is always going to be the claims. This is always going to be the scenario. This is always going to be said information. We always want to make sure that you're safe, right? When you're sharing information, you want to be safe. You want to feel like you're in a safe space to do that. If the man want to go out and date, that's his thing. You know, I have no parts of that. I don't want any parts of that. But if that's the avenue they want to go down, they can. But I just really don't think that's a smart thing to do. Okay, well, you could put something out as a tester. And once you do a tester, then you can move on from the testing situation and move into a different type of situation altogether. I've had to deal with that so many times that it annoys me that people can come and create lies and get away with it. And there seems to be, you have to go through so much to get all this lies and all this crap removed. So other than that, and some people are so small, it don't even matter. But when other people start echoing this type of nonsense, then you start to have a major problem, you know, with all these other creators come around and start doing things that are not ideal because the practices are terrible. Now, here's another situation. You have countless others that keep trying to do the things that would annoy others. Like Shannon Sharpe don't play in those lanes. Comedians do. Now, he didn't go after any comedians. Shannon Sharpe never came after anybody, but Shannon Sharpe is the platform. So when you have a platform, that's what they target. That's what Oprah and them target. That's why people who they're in business with, let's say, Oprah and all these other people, because they create these platforms, they got to kiss these people butts because the comedy world is so messed up right now. They closing down all these comedy clubs. The majority of these comedy clubs are closed down. You got people doing stand-ups in a damn bar room. Hey, we got Johnny, the comedian here. Johnny, you seen him on the Today Show. You know me? Oh, well, is it Coleman here? This is just me. You know, it's just So many different things are happening in this world. And once you start seeing that like multiply over and over again, it's going to make you question. It's going to make you question what you believe in. Where are you going? What's the direction? Where is the end game? Why you don't have enough skin in the game? I never saw it that way. I saw it in a way that it didn't make any sense. And when you see a situation that don't make a lot of sense, and you give your commentary, you give your thoughts, you give your ideas, you give your all to a situation, you expect the plight to be a little bit different. You expect those plights to be actually different. So for comedians, you're almost doing a catch-22, because while you're kissing up for one person and you just basically jumping on it because it's hot, you're kind of ruining a platform set that you're going to need and want to use. Now, the whole key to it is they all want to go on this show, because that's going to generate more money, more ticket sales for what they got coming up. I already told you Mike Epps wasn't even selling out in his own town until this beef with Shannon Sharpe. So when he did his stand-up set, that place was packed. They were sold out on the tickets. And that wasn't even a big venue. But they sold out because of this thing with Shannon Sharpe. They were like, oh, I want to hear what he got to say about Shannon. He done met up with Shannon. So it worked out for Mike. That's all Mike wanted. So he didn't have to go on Club Shay Shay. He got Club Shay Shay for free on the internet. So now Mike Epps then forced his way to get Shannon Sharpe in his situation. So without going on Club Shay Shay, Nightcap and that start blowing up. But you got to look at it. Shannon Sharpe is 1 million subscribers on Nightcap without that. He don't need it. So let's start focusing on what's real now. We have to start getting back to that. Now, when we get back to the magic and get back to what's real out here, well, what you're seeing is that you have a deceptional practice that's going on here. And what I mean by deceptional practice, you're being deceived by the fact that you think this is what it's supposed to be. Shannon Sharpe has more on the plate and more things coming. See, what Shannon Sharpe has access to now is a platform. So now he's going to have the Shannon Sharpe platform. So Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, he got Club, what's that, 520 or something? They got that podcast show going. He's putting more podcast shows under his umbrella, under his network. So now he's got his own network and he's going to start building his own shows around it. Now, once he's got that going and he has that avenue to start building other podcast shows around there, now you're going to start seeing a change in the action. You're going to start seeing a different type of process. It's expensive, but you got to have the right personnel around you or it's not going to work. People doing spotty research, not making the points connect. If I tell somebody something, I want them to be able to take that information and go anywhere and debate somebody with it because they could take it to the bank. That's what I try to make sure I do. I make sure I try not to tell people generalities or that's just me. If I'm making a point on facts and I'm landing on those, I want people to be able to go to the records and research it themselves and figure it out for themselves and say, he's right. That's exactly what happened in that situation. This person didn't tell us the truth, but since they said it on a large platform, now we believe it because he said it on this platform. And that's not the case. So on that note, I wanted to point that out to people. So shouts out to people like Kwame Brown Bust Life. Now, Kwame Brown Bust Life has come through there and did it his way. And he's saying, I'm not going to play the game y'all want me to play. Kwame was the biggest thing on the internet. He broke the internet. So when you break the internet, there ain't nothing really they could do. You broke that mug in half. So all you're doing now is you're making it safe for you somewhere. Kwame Brown was 400,000 in like basically a month. A month. Can you imagine if they didn't come in and sabotage him, what Kwame Brown would be right now? We're talking 5, 6, 7 million subscribers. They can't have that. Why? Because he's not going to say the things they want him to say. Oh, he's been offered every show in the world. He's been offered more things than you know. There's people that came to me like, yo, can you get Kwame to hit me up? Can you get Kwame to come on my show? And if you and Kwame can come on the show, Kwame Brown, they thought like I was his manager. I would tell Kwame about it like, Kwame, he's like, oh yeah, they reached out to me, man. Some of them, they were in his Instagram message. He ain't even seen it because he ain't even checked those messages. It's like just flooded with so many people doing that. And I'm like that too, because Instagram got it. Like if you don't follow these people, you know, it's just sitting up in there. And I don't follow a lot of people on the gram. So when you have that going on, you start seeing all these messages are just stacking and piling up. Mm-hmm. Well, when you start thinking about the people that's involved, the people who don't consistently make the right decisions, then you're going to exactly. Well, when you have people that's going to consistently stand by and do said acts, these narratives are going to always be there. The narratives are not going to change, okay? Because one person says that. People, your content dictates what people are going to do or say. Eddie Griffin, he's going to stop talking about Shannon Sharpe? Probably not. I mean, it depends. He'll stop when it's no longer popping. When you're no longer in this, like this situation ain't going on. It's like the Will Smith slap. If anybody's still making jokes about the Will Smith slap, you know, that's come and gone. It's dead. It's old. So right now, it's like saying Shannon Sharpe is fruity and all that. It's old. Already, it's getting old. You know, it's like, ha ha, that was funny. Yeah, he probably is. But who cares? You know, like, so the only thing is made it big is that Shannon Sharpe was responding so venomously. You know, he was just getting so angered by it, and that's what was making it worse than what it was. If he'd have just act like nothing and just kept going on and doing his thing, then it just would have been like that. Oh yeah, Ocho and Shannon are a great fit, great chemistry together. You can see it meshes right away. Gil, he just don't fit on the show at all with Shannon. They have no chemistry whatsoever. It's really bland and dull when he's on there. That's why they lose 200,000 people whenever he shows up. Nobody wants to really see him on the show with Shannon Sharpe because you don't get anything out of it. Even though I think he does a much better job on Nightcap than he does on any other platform he's ever been on. He's actually a lot better, to be honest. That's the truth. He's better on that show. It's just that his chemistry with Shannon not that good. So Ocho fits right away. Ocho gets it. You know, he's got charisma. So Ocho is just funny, period. And he could say one little thing and it just hits, it clicks, it connects. The other person is not funny at all. He's not creative. He's more of the copycat. So he's a mimic, in other words. He mimics everybody and what they do. And he just tries to do it like everybody else. And he's basically a hack. So when you're a hack, that's what you do. You try to, oh, they did that. That's hot. I'm going to take that. Oh, they doing that. That's hot. I'm going to take that. And I'm going to make it, and I'm going to just do my thing now. I'm going to put it out like this. This is me. Da-da. So it's like, it's not you. You just put three things together that somebody else is doing. You're trying to hustle. And when you do that, you're trying to get over on the general public. And when you start trying to do that and run those angles of, oh, I'm finna get over, you know, to me, I don't want to hustle the people. I want to actually give them genuine, what you pay for, you get. What you spend your time for, you get. I'm not trying to hustle you. You see, you'll have me going off all day about that. So let me get up out of here. Shouts out to Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez. Ticket TV, The Dreamers Pro. Welcome to HDII TV, and I'm out the door. See y'all on the Patreon too, which is KARCENO for life. And donate to that Cash App KARCENO. I'm